inside the, I'd say, absolute shit tip of a Corsa. For those returning, thank you. Good to see you again? Yeah, that one, well done. Yeah, welcome back. For those joining new, hello, welcome to the channel, and thank you for actually visiting. Hopefully stick around. Couple of updates. I struggled to remember what I told you about in the last video because it's been a while. Simply put, things got in the way. That's life. Been quite cold in the garage of late. There's no moving away from that. Even with the heater going, it's still not the warmest. But that's also had a knock-on effect onto general motivation. Quite often in the evening, I just can't be arsed. I just could not be bothered recently. Between other stuff going on, motivation just was lacking. After the last video, I dived head deep into the body loom. So I was doing quite a bit on that. Spent a few days, actual full solid days of hours, on the loom, and that just sapped motivation quite bluntly. From what was going to be a simple, I'll just cut this wire, join this wire, yeah, that's great, into why on earth is the brake fluid reservoir level sensor wired into the wash wipe circuit of the wiper relay. It obviously worked because it had been in a car before. However, I don't want that to work because I've got 3 level sensors that are coming on their way from OBP soon, to go in the reservoirs. So it's going through wiring that I've already gone through before, and yeah, it's just down a rabbit's hole. So I'm still, even now, not all the way through the body loom, but there's not constant progress. There was a lot of progress. Still more progress to go, but every little bit is progression. Firstly, flipping the camera around, you can see the mess of wires. Still, it's actually improving, believe it or not. So electric windows, the wiring's almost sorted to that. Also with the new locking and immobilizer system, I've been wiring that in, so that, again, taking time, but it's all little pieces that come together. Wonderful. So yeah, down to the gear stick. New tower. On the Corsas, gear knob. Where we go? Gear knob is actually splined on. So it's not a screw on like most Japanese or most racing ones. It's simply hit it on, or no, it's pressed on at the factory, and you have to cut it off, hit it off, do whatever. So going from that, we've then gone to a thread. Cut my own thread on there. So because I had a lockout collar I'd purchased for the spring on the reverse, and ages ago, I bought a big black knob. So all that needed was the thread cutting on top of that. Perfect. Except I cut the wrong thread. In a rush, I'd not forgotten what thread. I thought it was a different thread. So cut the wrong thread. So that collar was the wrong thread, as was the knob. So the knob wouldn't screw on far enough. Just went a bit further than I anticipated. Yeah, it wouldn't go on far enough. So I had to go from a different thread on the collar, cut the thread, that was all sorted, and then I was trying to find a big black knob again in the right thread, but I couldn't. So I got a big white knob, and the big white knob goes on the thread properly. So I've now got a big white knob because there were no black knobs, and if I can say knob in this without YouTube pulling the video down, I'll be one very lucky knob. yeah, so that is all sorted. However, I'm going to have to be careful not to get the white knob dirty, because it shows dirty marks, apparently. Yes, it will. One of those things. But that's one piece of the puzzle sorted. Next up, gear cables. Tucked down in front. I spent a week of evenings trying to find right gear cables. Looking on eBay, comparing all different lengths from all different models for all different gearboxes, and I actually got a couple of brand new cables, just trying them out, see if they would work, and in the end I was unsuccessful. So contacted a company called Cable Tech, who make bus gear cables, marine gear cables, push-pull cables for anything. Send them the dimensions you want and what it needs to do, and yeah, within a couple of days we'd spoken, agreed on what it needed, and they were very helpful in helping me decide and work out what I needed. Phone calls and emails much easier. They do have a catalogue, but it didn't confuse me. But yeah, speaking to someone at the end of phone, 5 minutes, job done. And they were paid for one day, made that day, and shipped out. So I was very fortunate with that. But yeah, also very fortunate that they actually fit in the original holders as well. I actually need a slightly bigger washer on it just to try and hold that secure, but that's a bonus. And fixing onto the side to side on the far gear cable, round we come. I need to sort out the length of the cable, make sure it's correct, but that's all. New ball and socket joint on there, so that's hunky-dory. And if we go under the bonnet, you can see it actually fit quite nicely into the original holder as well. Again, slightly bigger washer possibly needed. Might get away with that, but we'll see. That's for me to find out, not you. But yeah, need to trim down the cable slightly, as it's a touch too long for the side to side, and quite probably for the forward and back as well. But they're in there. At least I measured the lengths the correct length. I also mentioned OBP. They are the people who supplied the pedal box. I paid for it. Sold me a pedal box and 3 reservoirs, which I've already got as well. Need to make a bracket up to mount them under the bonnet, but also from them I have the supply hoses from the reservoir to the to the cylinders. They are currently being made. I say custom made. I'm just putting some grommets on them to go through the bulkhead, make them watertight, because the last thing I need is a swimming pool in there like the courses normally are. So that's another thing. Another thing that's been taking up time that I haven't even documented is a bit of fabrication under the bonnet. Let's have a look. So if you remember, we have 2 holes here, one left by the heater air intake and one left by the body module. So made up a simple plate to go over the it's about there. There we are, roughly there. So yeah, simple plate to go over. That just be painted and stuck on with some sealant, which will do the job. The body module cover, I actually did make that up. However, with a slight flaw. Yes, I am tired. So the flaw was, I bought some grommets, Haltech grommets for the wiring to go through. And if we flip you around, where are we? Above you. There we are. So yeah, really nice grommets. So I had to cut some wires and then rejoin them just to get that one on. The one going onto the ECU will be a lot easier. Ooh, back again. Yeah, because there's no connectors on the ECU wiring yet, so that'll be a lot easier. However, it says drill a 2-inch hole, and I measured it. 2 inches, what was it, 51 or 54 millimeters? I can't remember. 50, I think. Either way, the hole actually came out too big. Great. So there was slop around the grommet, so if I put that in, I'd either have to sealant it in, which wouldn't be good for pulling it back out if I need to, or I'm going to remake the plate, drill a smaller hole, and it will push in. It's actually quite a bit smaller hole, I think. It's about 5 centimeters or something, but yeah, not 5 centimeters. Oh, need sleep. So yeah, that's another thing I need to make up, but that needs to be done in time that I don't really have at the minute. So that's on the back burner slightly. I've been getting the gear cable sorted and ordering a lot of parts. With the wiring, I've been ordering a lot of connectors as well. Connectors to go on the engine wiring loom on the engine. Trying to track some of them down with a bugger. Even connectors I tracked down, ordered the connector, and it didn't come with pins, so then track the pins down. Basically a pain in the arse. Well, it isn't on this car. It all is. It's great fun. I love it. But no, it's taken some big steps that I haven't documented, like sorting and organising the gear cables, doing the wiring, making those plates up under the bonnet. It's bits that I've been doing, but haven't had the time to put down in video yet. So this video has been a lot of me waffling. Apologies. But it's just getting you up to speed with where I've got to. There's not much to show you of what I'm going to do, but it's informative. Hopefully I can pull my finger out my rectum and actually get on with it again. It's got a bit warmer outside, things might be improving, the clocks have changed, so hopefully I might get some sleep, not sleep at night, actually get some time to get out on it with some enthusiasm. Oh, Jesus. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Yeah. More progress, more time needs to be spent on it, but there's actually bits that are shown to start. There's actually bits that are showing promise and light at the end of the tunnel on some of these little projects. So I've always been one that's gathered parts together, like the engine conversion, put the manifold on, together in the ECU, the wiring, the manifold. I collect parts, so I've always will. I gather parts, and then all of a sudden something will just fall into place, or a lot will happen on something like the gears, the shifter parts I've had for years. And then all of a sudden, get the gear cables, falls into place. So yeah, hopefully a lot more of that happening. If I can fight my way through the wiring and get the body sorted, I want to do that before I get the engine started, ideally. Main reason being, if I can draw a line in the sand under the body wiring, it'll be a happy place. So yeah, fingers crossed. Again, thank you for listening to Waffle. Hopefully less of that on the next video and a bit more action. Let's hope. Anyway, thank you for putting up with me. Please like, comment, subscribe, and until hopefully quite soon, take care.